Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome back to Well-Don Tanks. Something I want to start doing more of this year is I want to try and do kind of like fish room vlogs. Show you potentially kind of what's happening day to day. This isn't going to be a weekly thing. I'll probably do it every other week, something like that. And Tucker's banging the door, trying to get in. I'm sorry, my stopping you from getting into your kingdom. So this is Tucker. This is probably his favorite place to hang out in the fish room. But yeah, so you're gonna, when I'm out in the fish room, typically you're gonna see the reflection and stuff. Like I just got home from work, I'm tired, but things in the fish room still have to go on. So that's what we're gonna be out here doing. Is like I gotta come out and feed the fish. We have fry, we have fish that are about to breed. So I just want to show you around, and show you things that I see. And the first thing I thought was super interesting is over here with the Molui crebensis I have. So I have a pair. The male just ran away. But this is just a simple coconut hut from the Aquarium Co-op. And it has the front entrance. You can see the female already started barricading herself in. She's actually in the cave right now, I think. But what I noticed though is that she excavated behind it and made a second entrance into it. And the male is not happy we're here. So first time I've ever seen them do this, but I don't know if it's because I have deeper substrate. So that was super interesting to see there. And then definitely my polar blue, what do you call them? The sapphire polar blue parrot convict cross. I love it. You can see the male over here. That's such a cool shot of the male there, but I love these fish. I absolutely love them. I think as soon as I get them a flat tile to spawn on, and potentially like a terracotta pot, that they will spawn for. So they're a fun fish, and they're actually one that once I showed them to my local fish store that I am kind of working with on the basis of they've asked to buy fish from me. As soon as I showed them these fish, they asked again like how soon can they have them, kind of a thing. Then also we have our Chicana jewel spawn. So this is the first spawn growing out. We have 65 Chicana jewels in here, and they are starting to get their color. Actually, there's a couple random blue star endlers hanging out in this tank too. But so the Chicanas are starting to show some color, starting to get their spangling. So they are growing out really well. One of the videos I need to film is actually of me culling them. So teaching you what it is to cull fish, what I'm looking for. Down here, we have 2 spawns of Geophagus Balzani growing out. So some are free swimming, some are still starting to be free swimming. I mixed 2 spawns in there. And then some sad news is this big bully, my massive male Chicana, you can see he's flaring for us. God, those colors are beautiful. Like Chicana jewels have some of the best colors. So he spawned with his female. So he is the father of the big spawn down there. But I found his female dead today, unfortunately. So they spawned a couple days ago right here on the Ghostwood. I thought the spawn hatched. I assumed they moved the fry over into the corner. But then I noticed that the female was getting beaten up and hanging out up in here. So I thought it was time to move her out to her own tank to see if we could revitalize her. Unfortunately, it looks like her injuries were just too great. So I said, there's no other fish in that tank whatsoever. There should be no stress in that tank. But unfortunately, she did not make it. So lesson learned is I will definitely be spawning Chicana jewels on a group setting versus a pair setting. From now on, excuse me. But we also have our second spawn of angelfish. So they are now into the wiggler stage. They're doing very well. One thing I need to do tonight is change out some water out of this breeder box they're in, or the specimen container, excuse me, to get the methylene blue out since they've started to hatch. So this is our second spawn from these angelfish, and don't mind my blue tape. I'm just lazy enough that I haven't taken this off yet. This was when I was planning the fish room out, and now it's just kind of turned into like, oh, that's still there. So kind of a low-grade panda, low-grade koi. This is our second spawn. They're gearing up to spawn again. They've already cleaned off the tile again. But it's our second spawn in the fish room. I had about 10 spawns from them when they were kind of in holding up in my studio, and I wasn't ready to pull the spawns. So now we're pulling spawns. So we need to do some water change tonight to get the methylene blue out. And then as soon as they're free swimming, they're gonna come over to this breeder box where we have our first, let's make it the light above it, our first bristlenose pleco spawn in the fish room. And it's kind of cool. I love it that already you can tell what's gonna be albino and what's gonna be regular. So the male is regular, the female is a big female albino, and then everything else in here is actually some scuds. So we have kind of a random scud culture that came into my possession. I don't know if you can see, oh, they'll die. No, there's a couple crawling in here still. I need to add some more water to this for sure. But big bucket of hornwort that I actually found local. Somebody was willing to give it to me out of their koi pond. And it is loaded with scuds, just loaded with scuds. And then we also, so the big female is down in there, but then also the betta macrostoma we have are hanging out in here. So kind of experimenting to see if the macrostoma will play nicely with the plecos. So far, so good. They're kind of, the macrostoma are kind of the catch-all fish of, I'll put them, look at the hip eyeball and the camera down. They kind of fit in where I need them to fit in. I really want to spawn them. They just kind of fit in where I need them to fit in, kind of a thing. So it's a quick update. We also have, I'm gonna spook her. This OB holding, she's ready to spit her fry. And this Rams, I think they're a pair. He is so fired up. I really want to see if I can get his colors. Because his color, look at those colors. So recently moved them up to this 10 gallon. I need to get a terracotta pot in here with some rock work for them. I'm letting her spit naturally if we can. And then like we need to get this week, we need to get into this 40 breeder and dig out all of these coral platies and kind of go through and you'll see what we have there available for sale. And so what turned into, I need to come feed the fish, turned into kind of an update. So most everything is gonna get frozen brine trip tonight. And then the juveniles down in the breeder boxes, they are going to be getting the mixture of the ultra fresh newborn fish micron shrimp patties. This is my new favorite go-to if you're not doing live baby brine shrimp. And this weekend's job is to do live baby brine, get that going again. I think I'm gonna hook my what do you call those things? The brine trip hatchers. God, there's this brine trip hatchers. I'm gonna make a contraption where they kind of hang on this rack so I can get two of them going. But so yeah, we're about 8 minutes in at this point. But we'll see what happens. We'll see kind of what happens when I update further what I do. But it turned into almost like a low-key fish room tour, which really wasn't the goal because I still want to do a dedicated fish room tour, like a good tour. It just gives you an overview of we are a working fish room. We are actively breeding fish. Things are happening. I'm experimenting with things. We're waiting on spawns. We have spawns. I'm testing things. I'm trying things. So I will say the number one thing I miss though is the fry system, the Master Breeder Dean fry system that he kind of built, and everybody's built around that, and I've shown a video how to do that. The breeder boxes are great, but man, I miss that fry system. So Fish Ranch 2.0 is definitely going to have the fry system. I don't know, like if I knew I wasn't going to be moving in the next 6 months, I would build one here, and maybe I will still build one just to transfer it with me. But the rainbow shiners look good tonight. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me on this one. Say kind of a rambling fish room update, but I really want to try. There was just so much to show here, but I really want to try and do. I'm out here in the fish room feeding. Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm out here in the fish room feeding. Oh my gosh, look at this. The members got a video like that, and I really enjoyed making it because we found the angelfish spawn. We found that the panda cories had spawned. We found, this was happening and that was happening, and I took little snippets of it. And so kind of a new style I want to try for 2022 is just kind of a day in the life of the fish room kind of a thing. Is show more of it, not hide it anymore. Now that we actually have room to, walk around and move around and stuff. So yes, tanks are dirty, but they're also like, the glass is dirty, but this is the most productive fish room I've ever been in, and I've been in it the least amount of time of any fish room I've built, which is crazy to say. So thank you guys for watching, and if we add something else to the video, we'll talk to you then. If not, we'll see you guys in the next one.